Welcome back to the shop, everyone. This week's video takes place in 2024, week 39. That is September 23rd to September 29th. And we are starting with some new PPE. Got a new mask for myself. So I realized that the work that I was doing, scraping all of that rubber off the car by using a propane torch, it was kind of dumb to not be having a respirator on and sucking in all those fumes. I did it for a little bit in the back and I said, no, I'm going to buy myself a new respirator. I do have one, but it's old. It's real old. It's dirty. It's filthy on the inside. I was like, you know what, screw it. I looked at the cost. I was like, you know what, for what it costs for a new respirator, it's just not worth not getting one. So I went out, picked one up, and we can get back to scraping off the undercoating. Yeah, so there's really not a whole lot for me to say. I'm just going to use a propane torch and heat up the undercoating and then take my scraper and scrape it off after. So as I'm doing this, couple of things. I gotta clean up quite frequently because this makes a huge freaking mess. But also, as I'm heating up the floor pan, you know, I'm checking to make sure the car's not on fire a couple of times, just because, you know, I am heating up the floor pan, who knows. But lastly, what I realized is as I'm scraping this off, there's quite a few areas where I'm really trying not to heat up too much because I have wires and stuff. And so I realized my best course of action is to just pull all the wiring out of the car. That way I'm really not concerned in any way, shape, or form with heating up the floor pan too much. And because obviously the wiring goes from the back of the car all the way through the trans tunnel, all the way right to the front of the car, I'm just going to pull it all out. I mean, my plan this winter was also to paint the interior of the car. So pulling all of the wiring out, you know, just plays to that as well. I wouldn't want the wiring in the car while I'm painting. So I figured, fuck it, this is just the perfect time. Stop doing what I'm doing and just pull all the wiring out of the car. So all the wiring that I have done, you're going to see me undo right now. Well, not entirely undo. It's still going to stay zip tied and like electrical taped all the way through. I'm just going to pull it out of the car. And of course, to get all of the electrical out of the car, I need to pull the dash out of the car. So take the dash pad off, I can take the gauges out, I can pull all the heater controls out, disconnect all the wiring from the steering column, pull the steering column out. The one thing that I really have trouble with is the connector that you see at the top left for my switch panel, and the reason being is when I did all the wiring you can see kind of goes up that bar and then up and around it. Well, there's not enough clearance between the roof of the car and the bar for the cage to get that connector through. So I actually need to go through, de-pin all of the pins from that connector, pull all the wires through, and then I just do it one at a time, and I make sure that I repin it all back in the same place. Other than that, pulling everything out just takes a bit of time, and there's probably a few places where I'm going to add some connectors back. Like for example, I had to disconnect all of the wiring going to all of the back lights, so I might just put like an 8 or a 10 or a 12 pin connector somewhere between the front harness and the back harness. Not entirely sure yet, but I might do that. So I know you can't see all that well, I didn't have the light in the front, but what I'm doing right now is I'm undoing the bolt that holds the steering column to the steering shaft. And so it's 5/8 head and socket, so I just kind of put the wrench loosely on top, and I go underneath with a socket and pull it out. Man, these Maven bulkheads make this so easy. You just disconnect the bulkhead, unscrew the nut, and then the entire harness just pops out. Don't have to depin anything. It is just such a nice, convenient thing for the wiring. I am so happy with that. So I did cut that wire going to my door solenoid, and the reason being is because I do already have some 10 gauge connectors for that wire. I just haven't put them in, and this is the perfect opportunity to just cut the wire, and then when I put everything back in the car, I'll put those connectors on. So it's crazy that all the wiring to my car just ends up in this ball. And that was like a 20-30 pound bundle of wires. Just absolutely crazy. So real quickly, what I'm going to do right here is there's some jagged metal in the trans tunnel, and I've cut myself on that several times. So since I have everything out of the car, I am just cutting that jagged metal the hell out of there because I'm tired of jabbing myself on it. Fuck, that sucks so much. So happy to have that cut. I had considered opening up the trans tunnel a lot more because I can't access all of the bolts for the shifter, but then I realized I do need to adjust the angle of the engine, and that's going to adjust the angle of the shifter. Like right now you can see it's canted to the left towards the driver's side. So once I readjust that and get the engine back to like 0 degrees, that should probably help a little bit, and then I can adjust the trans tunnel from there. Alright, with nothing in the car stopping me anymore, let's jump back under here and propane torch and scrape off all of this undercoating. This is a long, shitty job, but we'll get it done. So, you know, at this point, I've been kind of tiptoeing around the brake line. It's on the front. There's some undercoating around it. And at this point in time, I just said, screw it, Ben. Stop being an idiot. Just take the brake line off. You know, stop dicking around. There's no point in leaving it on the car. I'm planning on replacing it with a stainless steel one anyways. So finally, you just pulled my head out of my ass and took the brake line off so I don't have to tiptoe around it and try and clean around it and not get it heated up. Like, just get it the hell out of there. So what I'm doing right here is I've got a good chunk of the undercoating off, but there's still some rubber left over. So I'm just taking this Roloc 3M bristle wheel, whatever it is, and just kind of seeing if I can remove some of the leftover rubber itself, because as I kind of mentioned, I do want to paint under here. So just getting as much of that rubber off as possible would be ideal, and I'm just going to kind of clean off the rest of it with a little bit of gooby gone and see if how much I can kind of get off. But the bristle wheel does a fairly good job. So as you can see, I'm kind of going around the park brake cable here, and then yet again I pull my head out of my ass, and it's one clip. Just pull the one clip out. I can pull the park brake line off of both sides. Well, I guess two clips, one clip per side, but then I don't have to dick around and try not to heat it up and go around it, and like, just be smart about it. Just get it the hell out of the way. right, so we are now back onto the upper torque boxes. So I was watching some videos of other people doing the TMZ upper torque boxes, and I realized there's actually more of the structure that we can pull out. So, I mean, I'm gonna pull it all out. I just got a wire wheel to pull or to locate all the spot welds. I'll drill out all the spot welds, grab my air hammer, and kind of work it out. I do end up having to use my grinder to cut out the sides of it because there's like spot welds on the inside somehow. I don't know how that works. Maybe this outside portion was spot welded to the frame before the body inside body skins were put on. It's the only thing I can kind of really guess. But yeah, so you'll see here that I actually pull out a ton more structure for this. So yes, what I'm doing here is a ton of work, like drilling out all of the spot welds and then taking the air hammer and working the metal out. Like, this is a ton of work, but if I were to just take the grinder to it all, I think that would be even more, especially the cleanup afterwards. So yeah, this is a ton of work, but it's, I think, the shortest path to the end goal. Alright, so all the work is coming to fruition here, and we're pulling out a huge chunk of structure from under the car. That's a pretty big piece. I'm pretty happy with that. You can see how much more room there is in there, and there's no way I would have gotten the replacement torque boxes installed with that piece in there anyways, so it was coming out one way or another. But we're just going to finish off taking the last pieces off, and then we'll kind of clean the frame rails, and we'll weld up some of the holes on the frame rail and make them nice and flush. Alright, so just a quick little test fitting of the new torque boxes, and that's gonna look real nice up there, I'm telling you. So I got my other camera out, so I'm just doing a little bit of behind the scenes work here on a installation video for the upper torque boxes. So you just get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff for that. Hopefully that video will be coming out maybe the day after this one, or maybe the week after. I don't know. Depends on when I get it done. So since I won't really have access to the back side of the torque box when it's installed, I'm just throwing a quick coat of paint on the back side. I'm not worried about the front side, because the front side I'll paint when I paint the rest of the underneath there. And there is a reason why I'm doing this red. That's going to be kind of the paint scheme for the car. The body will be black with red metal flake, and then I'm going to try and do a lot of the tubes for red with black metal flake. It won't be this bright of red, I don't think. I think I chose one that's a little bit darker, but whatever. We'll see when the time comes. So while that paint is drying, I'm just going through and doing a little bit more welding on the mini tubs. You can see there's just a lot of tacks in here, and I'm actually measuring out where I'm going to weld. I really should have done this the first time around. I also should have cleaned up the metal a whole lot more the first time around. But, you know, you live and you learn. Going forward, I'll clean up the metal before I weld a lot more. It just makes it a lot easier. I'm not a great welder to begin with, so when the metal's dirty, it makes it really tough. But yeah, so I'm just going to go measure it out, and then I do something stupid. I kind of clean the tub, which I should have done first, and remove some of the marks, and then I go back through and remark it. But then I will weld both sides, do both tubs. Alright, so with the tubs welded as much as I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start making Swiss cheese out of the back of the car here. So the reason why I'm doing this is I'm going to plasma cut some slugs, and then I'll fill all of the round holes up with slugs that I've plasma cut. That way I don't have to try and make a bunch of like very specific like oval shaped plugs and small ones of all different sizes. I can just plasma cut out, you know, like 24 3/4 inch slugs, and then as long as I have a 3/4 inch hole, I can fill it. And then if any of the holes are too small for some reason, I can just make the hole a little bit bigger, open it up to 3/4, away we go. I do two kind of size holes here, and then there were a couple of bigger ones already, so I just kind of left them. Alright, we are leaving the car in Swiss cheese mode, and as always, if you have stuck around this long, I would like to thank you for viewing, and we'll see you in the next one.